Hi guys, just want to talk you through how I'm going to cut a piece of glass. I've got a big sheet of glass behind me now that I'm going to put on the wall, and I'm going to show you how to cut it to the correct size, what you'll need, the do's and don'ts, and the little safety tips that I can give you. All these applies to exactly the same to any type of glass you're cutting. This is obviously a mirrored glass, and it's exactly the same as a normal piece of glass. The fundamental sort of rules are the same, and the process of cutting it is the same. I'm going to go through what you need and how you do it. So let me just show you what equipment I'm going to use, and then we'll go from there. So these are the bits I'm going to use. Obviously we've got the tape measure to measure the correct size we want. I'm going to use a Sharpie to mark the glass where we need to cut it. I've got some safety glasses. Obviously, you know, we're cutting glass, mirrored glass here, and we're going to be snapping it. So let's make sure we protect our eyes. And I've got a cutter. It is worth getting a decent cutter. They're not expensive. You're talking 10 quid for something like this. This is actually one where you can fill up the handle with oil. If you're doing a lot of cutting, it actually helps you do it. I probably will put a little bit of oil in it for this cut. And you've got on the ends here, you've got a situation where you can change the blades as they get blunt. So, you know, get yourself a decent cutter. That's really important, and you'll see why as we do it. And we've got straight edge. Obviously we're going to be spanning this piece of glass here. We need to run the cutter down the straight edge. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mark it up to the desired length and show you the process of how we cut it. Okay, so I've marked up the mirror, and as you can see, I've scored a line. I've drawn a line across it with the Sharpie. That'll give me an indication, good indication of where I want to cut it. So now we're going to get on with the cutting process. So I'm ready for the cut now. First things first, let's get my glasses on. Safety first, let's protect my eyes from any little bit that might fly off when I actually crack this. So I'm ready to make the cut, and I've got my assistant here, Stan. You a good boy? Okay, so we're pretty much ready to cut the glass. Just a note, just make sure that whatever you've got it on is nice and flat. What you don't want to do is be pressed down on the glass and it crack, because you've got to put some pressure on this to hold it in place, or you could clamp it at either end, but that means you have to have it up on a table. I'd much prefer to do it on the floor, and you don't want to put it on a stone floor or a concrete floor. Under here I've got rubber mats. It just so happens we've got rubber mats, so it sits on here, but on a carpet or a wooden floor, obviously then it would work, but just put some kind of dust sheet down which will cushion it slightly. But you don't want to put it on any kind of stone or concrete floor, because any undulations, as you push down, it'll crack. So we're pretty much ready to cut. I'm going to align the wood up with the Sharpie line. Done. And then we're going to put some pressure on it. And what we do is we put some pressure on it. We keep an even pressure, quite firm, on the cutting tool, and we run it down. And you should hear like a scoring sound, like that. If we come down to the end there. If you can see that, so on the line, just about see next to the line of the Sharpie, there's where it's scored. You can't see it very well. Oh, there you go. You can see the scoring line. So that's scored that all the way across. I'm going to use the piece of wood to put it underneath. So I'm going to slide this piece of wood underneath here, which will right on the line of the cut, and then it will allow us to crack it, and it will it'll put all the force along the line there. So let's just get this. So I'm going to slide the straight edge underneath it here, line it up on the line of where we've scribed with the cutter, and then we give it a basic crack. There you go, perfect cut. So as you can see, that snapped right along the scribe line, very clean, neat and tidy cut. And that is how you cut a piece of glass. So just to recap on that, make sure you don't put your glass or mirrors down on any hard surfaces. Make sure you've either got carpet, wood, or something spongy underneath, because it will crack else. Use a good cutter. You can get a really decent cutter for about 10 quid. It's well worth doing that. Make sure you've got your eye shields on, because there is little slithers of glass here which I'll have to clear up. Last thing you want to do is get a little slither of glass in your eyes. You can use gloves if you want. I obviously didn't. And yeah, do your measurements. Make sure you scribe your line, keeping that cutter nice and upright and hearing that nice crisp cutting sound as you scribe it. Then get your straight edge underneath and give it a good firm tap, and it will break. And that's it, all cut to size and ready for mounting on the wall. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, you can give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel, and make sure you check out some of my other DIY stuff which you might find useful. See you later.